Alrighty, hey, what's up, everyone? Ryan Arnold, aka Demon Master Reviews here, and today, obviously earlier today and this morning when I was waking up, I figured, you know what I could do today? Why not do a live stream where I show off my collection, more specifically, my records, my vinyl collection, and I thought this would be a cool thing to do. So I thought, you know what? Let's go for this. So this is going to be probably the first of several collection live streams, and I've been watching another one. I see he's returned at being Count Blacker. So I figured some of these, I'll show off my collection. I'll show off my records here in this one. I'll show off my cassettes, my CDs, which will probably be in multiple live streams, or maybe it might be in one. Maybe. I don't know. But I figured, you know what? Why don't we? So these first ones I have right here are pretty much the 7 inches. I don't want to take too much time. Most of these were either my mother's or they're ones my mom got for me as like kind of like gifts and stuff like that. Some of them I have actual records for, others not so much. Hopefully soon. But yes, let's get into this real quick. And as you can see, there's the first one. We got Chicago. Hard Habit to Break. I believe this one also happens to. Well, this one has two in here. This one obviously it has the Hard Habit to Break, and then this one on the other side it's Remember the Feeling, and then Will You Still Love Me, and 25 or 6 to 4. I didn't realize this had two. All right, well that's two in there, and then we got the 7-inch single for Welcome to the Jungle, which also, I believe this one happens to have Mr. Brownstone on it on the other side. But yeah, that's in black. It's in black. In the black, we got the Sweet Child of Mine single, which also has It's So Easy Live. Then we got Paradise City, which I believe on the other side happens to have Move to the City. Yeah, right there. There. And then we get into there is Wherever I May Roam, which also has, I think, a live version of Fade to Black. And we got Can't Fight This Feeling from Mario Speedwagon, which I believe also happens to have Break His Spell on that side. And then we got another Mario Speedwagon. This one has Keep On Loving You and Follow My Heart on the other side. And you got a Rolling Stones one, Under Cover of the Night. And on the other side, it has All the Way, single 4. I think that's pretty much the title track. And then the final one is The Search Is Over, which has, it's the singer, not the song. But yeah, that's all the 7 inches. Now, we get to the good stuff. We get to the records. As you can clearly see, we got the first one all up here going alphabetical order from A to Z. We got AC/DC, Back in Black, I believe. Probably one of my favorite Brian Johnson era AC/DC albums. Probably also in my top 5. I personally prefer the Brian Johnson era over the Bon Scott era. But there's some stuff from Bon Scott I do like. High Voltage. I have that on cassette. That'll be in my cassette collection live stream. I'll show that. But out of the Brian Johnson, this is my third favorite, only behind For Those About to Rock, We Salute You, which is the follow-up to this, and Razor's Edge from 1990. But yeah, Here is the front, back. Obviously, it comes with this cool little in this inner sleeve, and as you can pretty much tell, there's a few that are kind of different color variants, but it's all in regular black. Regular black. All right, next one, as you can clearly see, we got Alice Cooper, Killer. Got this at a record store. It was probably one of the in the cheap end. Saw that and I was like, hell freaking yeah. I believe these next two are from the same record store, but this was in the cheap end. And I'm like, yeah, why not have an Alice Cooper album, especially a classic one. Let's see, we got two people here in the chat. Who do we got up in here? You guys, if you got something to say, type it in the chat. Chat. You're talking about this. They're talking about Back in Black from AC/DC. But yeah, this was just one of those that I got cheap at a record store. Same with the other one. Well, the other one wasn't really cheap. It is kind of beat up a little bit. This one's also kind of beat up. This one's, I think 1971, I believe. I gotta turn the camera off real quick to see what year this was released. Can't really look at the spine. This says, yep, 1971, pretty much. But yeah, anyway, there is the bag with all the guys, including Alice. There's the prep with the snake on there. Just in the center sleeve, and it's on pretty much, you guessed it, plain black. Next up, the first heavy metal album. I'm so glad I have it on vinyl. Black Sabbath by Black Sabbath. An iconic album, same record store, although it was one of those that was a little bit more pricier. I couldn't pass up on getting the self-titled debut from Black Sabbath. It's one of the most iconic heavy metal albums of all time. It's been talked about to death at this point. But yeah, it's just been talked about over and over again for quite some time. Was there really anything to say? It's from the same record store, and yeah, there's the front, and there's the back. I made a custom one where it's on, because it's clear sleeve, but it's pretty much on plain black again. Plain black again. Oh, we got Metal Ben in here. What's up, Ben? Glad to see you join. Anyway, we get to Boston. This is the first album I ever listened to on vinyl when I was in my dad's place. I think this was around 4 years ago, somewhere around there. Around there. But yeah, obviously what else is there to say about this? One of the most iconic rock albums of all time. Glad this was the first ever vinyl I ever listened to, and I will always have sentimental values. That's good to hear, Ben. Glad you could join the stream tonight, or this pretty short stream. But yeah, I have sentimental value for this record. The first ever record I ever listened to when I was at my dad's, and I'm so glad. Obviously, not much to show with this. It's on plain. It's obviously also on plain black, just on this regular sleeve. Now we get into a recent addition to the collection. This is Camel's This is Mirage from Camel, their second studio album, their sophomore release. I was looking this up and seeing what this one. Yeah, this is their second album, kind of an English prog rock band, kind of the same way as Genesis and all that stuff. Stuff of, yeah, as you can see, got some epics on here. Two epics. You got, I believe, can't remember, the White Rider. This one, the 9-minute one, is the White Rider, and then this other one is Lady Fantasy, which clocks in at over almost 13 minutes. The other ones are like 3, 5, and 6 minutes in length, almost 7 minutes. Well, I knew because I think at some point we were talking about this band, Camel. I'm just so glad I saw this at the Goodwill in Marble Falls, and glad that I grabbed it and got it. But yeah, here is the front. This is a kind of a different cover. I think the other one kind of looked just like a back of Camels. You know, the Camel is named out kind of almost after the cigarette company. But it's a different one because they didn't want it to be like the cigarette company. Yeah, here is the front, back with the track listing. Obviously, it comes in this weird sleeve that does not match, but it does also come in, you guessed it, plain black, pretty much. Yeah, that's a recent addition. Now we get into another one. Well, not quite a recent addition. It's from another record store. Kind of the same as the Black Sabbath and the Alice Cooper. We got Deep Purple's Burn. I believe this one is got, as you can tell by the top, you can see Richie Blackmore, Dave Coverdale from Whitesnake, Glenn Hughes is on there, John Lord and Ian Pace. Yeah, track listings, all of them were sung by David Coverdale and Glenn Hughes, except Mistreated. It's a 7-minute song, solely sung by David Coverdale. Yes, got this at the same record store, I believe it's Fourth Rock. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, why not? Get a Deep Purple record. Here's the front, back side with the track listing, and as you can probably tell, goes on the sleeve. It's pretty cool. And of course, plain black. Again, black as night. Next up, we got Emerson, Lake and Palmer. I believe this one and some others were from another record store. A different one. I think one from Illinois, I believe. Yeah, they're both from Illinois, pretty much. These were at a different record store. But yeah, Emerson, Lake and Palmer. It's like a 2-volume one. This one's kind of a double album, double LP. Each guy has their own side. Well, one side's Keith Emerson. They got another for Greg Lake, another side for Carl Palmer, and another side for just the band themselves. It's kind of almost similar in vein to what Kiss would do a year later with the whole, or maybe it was around this time. No, it would be a year later that Kiss would do the solo albums for each band. But these guys had certain sides to themselves and stuff like that. But it's pretty cool. Here it is on gatefold or triple gatefold. As you can see, there's apologies. Come on. Okay, apologies. I hope I'm still here. Okay, good. But yes, as you can clearly see, my mother just texted me. But you got Keith, and you got Greg Lake, and then you got Carl Palmer right there. Each of them have their own different. One is triple gatefold, both on plain black. Black, but yeah. Oh, and here's the back with the track listing for all of them. Yeah, that's that one. And here is volume 2. Kind of the same. Got this clear one, but it's obviously, as you can see, all black. These are pretty much the leftovers from volume 1, pretty much. And they were just like, you know what? Yeah, let's put these on here. Here, I give everyone 2 volumes for Works, pretty much. Yeah, it's Works Volume 1. This is Works Volume 2. If you can clearly see. But yeah, it's pretty much in plain black. And don't worry, we'll get to some that will have different colors. But next we got the last one from them in the 70s. This is Love Beach. It's not really widely considered to be. It's widely considered to be one of their non-bin. You could tell. Look at that. It's in a bargain bin. But yeah, obviously you see one, and then the other side is pretty much an epic memoirs of an officer and a gentleman. But yeah, obviously comes on again, play black again. Kind of got this brown inner sleeve though. It's kind of like bronze, or it's brown. Kind of cool. I like that. But that's the only difference for this one. Next up, Genesis. The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. Concept albums. A lot of y'all should know about me that I love me concept albums. And obviously, this is pretty much a concept album through and through from the 70s, 1974. It is essentially a classic. It's like when it comes to the prog stuff. Yeah, we got this is one of those I have in a sleeve. As you can tell, we got it in a sleeve. Protective sleeve. Hey, Mopar, nice to see you here. Yeah, I just got to Genesis. Hopefully you can watch the rest of it, you know? It's nice to see you here. As you can tell, we got Genesis. It's kind of pretty beat up, but some of these are pretty beat up, so. Yeah, we got the back. We got the front, back side with some artwork and the track listing at the top. Obviously, it's on just a gatefold, both. I think they're pretty interesting. Yeah, they got lyrics on them. But obviously, as you can pretty much tell, again, play black. Once again. Yeah, that's Genesis. And as you can see, we get to my all-time, my new #1 favorite band of all time, Iron Maiden. We got Power Slave here. And not when it comes to some of their 80s stuff, not one that I awesome to hear, Mopar. But yeah, Iron Maiden, my all-time, my #1 all-time favorite band. They surpassed Metallica, I believe, last year. This ain't one of my favorites. There's only maybe a handful of songs. There's a good chunk of songs on here, but the one songs I do not like are. Yep, definitely. He's on that album. He is. Yep, Phil Collins is on here. But I think this was the last one with, this is the initial lineup. This has Peter Gabriel on it. And this was his last one, pretty much. I could be wrong real quick as I look through this. Believe but this one Phil Collins is on here playing on the drums, but this is a totally different lineup. But yes, Iron Maiden, Back on track. I don't like Flash of the Blade, the Duelist, and Back in the Village. Those just, and I wish Prime of the HMR was a little bit shorter. But otherwise, this album, the beginning is great with Aces High, 2 Minutes to Midnight, even the instrumental Lost Forwards, Big Order. You know, it's got some good songs on there. I do love the title track as well. But yes, we got this. You know, here's the front. Backside does have the track listings. Kind of cool artwork comes on this. I have this on a printed in their sleeve, but it's got the band. At the time, you got the other side having the track listings. And of course, plain black vinyl. Not much to say about that one. Then we get into what is essentially my favorite 80s album of theirs, Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. I absolutely love this album a lot. The last one with Adrian Smith before he would come back. But yeah, this is also a concept album, minus I think the evil that men do. I do love that song. The first side is fantastic. I love the title track, and then it gets a little bit, but they are great songs on here. And I absolutely love this album. I'm glad I have this on vinyl. Once again, kind of a cool print in their sleeve with some lyrics. You got the band, the classic lineup for one last album. Yeah, you got essentially that guy. I don't know. I forgot what he was called. But yeah, and also it's on plain black again. And we get to the final Iron Maiden album. We got the Book of Souls. My all-time favorite Iron Maiden album. My number one. Hands down, and I'm so glad I got this on vinyl. It's a behemoth. It's a triple LP, as you can see, all the way to Empire of the Clouds. Triple LP. Love this album to death. What else is there to say? It's perfect for me, at least. I don't know how y'all feel about this album, but it's an album I still love to this day, and I still think it's perfect. But yeah, it's on a triple gatefold. There's a picture of the guys, and then you got the Shabanetti. Yeah, this is basically the CD art, and also the middle of this. Obviously, this comes on kind of printed in their sleeves that are all got the lyrics, and as you could tell, plain black again. Not that that's bad. Plain black is always good. But, you know, I have so few albums that are colored variants. But yeah, Iron Maiden, Book of Souls. Next up, we get to another classic 70s album, so kind of prog rock. We got Kansas with Point of No Return. Obviously, title track. I also believe this has that Dust in the Wind, another big deal hit for them off this album. I think this one comes after. Yep, this one came after Left Overture. That's one I definitely need to get when it comes to Kansas albums. Yeah, there's definitely some Kansas albums I definitely need to get, but I'm so glad I got this. This one comes on it comes on a printed sleeve, which is kind of cool. It's got the lyrics all in cursive and stuff like that, and it's got like this drawing of the band members on there, which is pretty damn cool. But obviously, once again, plain black again. Plain listenable, black. Okay, get this thing. Ooh. There we go. Kansas. Point of no return. Next up, we get to the Kiss albums. I got about 3 of them. 3 of them all are. We get to the first album, Debut. Iconic. You got some iconic songs on here. You like, I believe, Strutter, Got Nothing to Lose, Firehouse, Colgin, and then you get Deuce, obviously. And then you get to the last ones, 100,000 Years, all the way to Black Diamond. That's the track listing back there. Yeah, you get Diamond Dud, Studded, and all that. Pretty cool. And then you got basically the front cover is a picture of the band. You got Paul, Peter, Gene, and Ace. Ace in the early years looking like that. Yeah, you got the back, kind of cool, like these arches on the bottom. Lee, was this produced by? No, it was different people before they got Bob Ezrin. Yes, indeed, Mopar. Yes, indeed. But yes, obviously, as you can tell, it's all just this regular sleeve that's all plain black. Then we get into Rock and Roll Over, the one that's pretty much sandwiched in between 2 great Kiss albums, Destroyer and Love Gun, 2 I absolutely need to get when it comes to Kiss records. But yeah, pretty much, it's just the same side. It's just the same on the other side. You got Gene, Paul, Peter, Ace. Pretty cool artwork. Kind of got this blade. You got track listing, and you got credits and all that stuff. Pretty cool. Yes, indeed. It's pretty much probably out of all the makeup years of Kiss, the best one. And yet again, we got kind of in a similar way. We got printed inner sleeves with, of course, plain black. Not much to say about that. That cool sleeve though. Cool printed inner sleeve. I know we skip a decade. This was from 77. We'll go to 80. I think this was 83 or 84. Yeah, 84. This was when they ditched the makeup and they went looking like normal people. Looking like normal people. Well, obviously, there is no Ace. There's no Peter at this point. You got Eric Carr coming in, and then you got, for just this album, Mark St. John, who is a hell of a guitar player at this point. But yeah, here's the track listing, and then you've got the guys on there. This was produced, as you can tell, by Paul Stanley, associate producer Gene Simmons. That's awesome to hear. And then we got this cool little printed inner sleeve. We got some albums on here. I had it over here because you got Jailbreak Thin Lizzy, Rush 2112, which I'll get to later. What else is on here? You got, I don't know any of some of these other bands on here. Oh, Rod Stewart. I didn't know Rod Stewart was on here. You got another Thin Lizzy album right there. Oh, the Runaways are on here. Cool. But yeah, as you can pretty much tell, it's all the plain black. J-Dub! No, I only got about 3 since you just joined, J-Dub. I only got about 3. Animalize, and I'll pull them up here. Rock and Roll Over, and self-titled Debut. Yes, indeed. Okay, cool. Yes, next we got Living Color, Vivid. This was kind of a circumstance one. This one is one of 2 that happened with something that happened. I bought this. This was just at like a think just a mom and pop shop saw that, and I was like, oh, cool. It's Living Color. It's fit. It's the album with, you know, Cult of Personality. I think a month or so later, CM Punk comes back. It was just like, holy shit, that was a coincidence just to get that. But yes, another one that I have on a sleeve. Cool, there's the artwork, backside, track listing, you got pictures of the band. And there's one song, as you can tell, I'm not exaggerating. There was a song on here that was produced by Mick Jagger. I believe it's this one, Glamour Boys. That's insane. Here's the back. You got a inner sleeve that has credits and lyrics on the back. And of course, once again, plain black. And now we get into a band that a lot of people are talking about today. We got the mighty Metallica. Because I wanted to take this time, make this a little bit longer to talk about the new song that just came out, and they just announced the album. Obviously, the song is called Lux. They say Lux Eterna. I call it Lux Eterna, like, Anima, all that stuff, because it's like that little, like, Anima from Tool. Which, unfortunately, I do not have on vinyl. I only have it on CD. But I'll show that in the CD one when I get to that one. But they released that song. It's kind of a short, straight to the point, 3-minute, almost 4-minute song, about 3 minutes, 50 seconds. I liked it. I just need a few more listens to it to, wrap my head around that song. But also they announced a new album, 72 Seasons. An interesting title. It was like, okay, I was thinking, okay, this is interesting. You look at the album artwork. It's got this damaged crib and all that stuff and other stuff, toys and instruments all over, broken and all that stuff. I initially thought, and Jacob and some others can back me up on this, I had thought, because it said, okay, 72 seasons, that's about 18 years. If you divide it up by 4. Divide it by 4. I had something to do, and I was like, okay, subtracting 18. It's also a cool reference, but it's not that. It just so happens that it goes back to 2004. And that was the first full year of Rob Trujillo joining Metallica. But no, it's about the 18 years of life and all that stuff. That's what I ended up finding that out. I'm like, shout out to Wyatt for finding that out. But yeah, it's a cool album name. I can't wait for it to come out in April. I will definitely be reviewing that when it does come out. So yeah, there's an album from 2023 that you'll know I will be reviewing. That is the new Metallica album called 72 Seasons. But yes, Metallica, getting back into this collection video. Metallica for me. Yeah, it's kind of reminds me of talk about it a little bit more. It surprises me how short it is. It reminds me of the title track from Hardwired. It's to Self-Destruct. That was pretty quick and to the point. But I guess they wanted to follow the same formula, is release a single that is short, sweet, straight to the point. And that's what I'm thinking it was, because, it's pretty short. It's 3 minutes. And then finding out it's 12 tracks and it's over 77 minutes. The longest singular disc album they have put out since the Load and Reload albums. Pretty much. That's what happened. I'm now thinking to myself, there might be an epic on there. Usually you think, and what I mean by that, there might be Yeah, pretty much. But then you realize it's 77 minutes. It's one of the longest single disc albums they've done since the Load and Reload albums, because those are over 70 minutes as well. Well, they're even close to 80 minutes. But it makes me think: is there going to be the first ever Metallica song that's over 10 minutes? There might be a song on there that might be over 10 minutes, which would be like, that would be pretty dang cool if they did that. Because it's 77 minutes, there's 12 tracks. I think they might. I would be surprised if they did not have a 10-minute a song that's over 10 minutes. That is exactly or over 10 minutes. I'll be surprised if it isn't. But yes, back to Metallica. Getting back on track with this. I have grown up liking Metallica probably since I was a teenager. This would have been around early 2000s, maybe 2002, 2003. Got into them because of the Black Album, which I do have, as you can see right there. Got into that because of that. Got Saint Anger, which was the first album I ever got, and I had the Electro version. It's just not the one I had at one point. And then a cool one, obviously, I kept getting into it, finding out years later that they had albums in the 80s, and we'll get to that. Obviously, this is an 80s album. But yeah, let's get into Lightning. I like a good chunk of this album, obviously. I like the title track, For Whom the Bell Tolls, Fade to Black, Creeping Death Call Cthulhu. The only songs I do not like are Fight Fire with Fire, which is, I thought, it's alright. Trapped Under Ice and Escaped are like, do not care for them. They're just not for me. I don't really care for them. And it prevents this album from being, it's a great album. It's a really great, a really good album. I have it in my top five. Yeah, I love this album. Love it, love it, love it. I love it. It's a really good album. I like it. But now we get to a perfect Metallica album. Master of Frickin' Puppets. Quick little story about this one. I said around some later on in the late 2000s. I think this might have been around I was a junior in high school. I was getting into them at this point and did not know, because I was not aware at the time of this, when I was only into them for about maybe 4 or so years. I was only aware of that. I always thought that they were a 90s band, and that the Black Album, because it's self-titled, was their debut, because that's the thought for me. It wasn't until my mom got me this album on CD. It was the Electro version. Remember, this would have been before. This would have 2007, 2008. So this was pre-Blackened recordings. They were still with Elektra and Warner at this point. But yeah. She got this, and it took me years later, and then finally to realize, okay, they have done albums that were before the Black Album, this album. That's when I found out about Ride the Lightning, Kill 'Em All, Justice for All. But yeah. Oh yeah. Blackened or Lightning. Here's the front. Backside with track listing. Obviously it's on kind of a plain black, but the middle is kind of this darkish blue. Obviously, the same can be said about this one. Here's the cup front, backside with track listing, a picture of the band and all that stuff. Same white inner sleeve, comes all black, and it's got the maroon red. And then we get to the album for me that started it all for me. The Black Album. What more can there be said about this album? It's a classic. It's one of I think it's my number 3. It's in my top 5. Like, easily. Love the hell out of this album. But yeah, here's front, as you can kind of see, there's a snake. You got the band name. Backside with track listed, you got the snake again. Believe this did come on. As you can tell, this one's just on plain black. As you can kind of tell from the front. I did think I had a sleeve that had the lyrics, but I don't know where that went. Well, we're getting pretty close. We got a few more albums left. Opeth, Blackwater Park. First got it on CD around 2015. Instantly fell in love with it after several, and I mean several listens, and I absolutely adore this album now. Now, I was kind of getting into this because of a friend who is no longer in the YouTube world, that being Brody. Hope you're doing well, Brody. But yeah, this is a perfect album. Yeah, here's the front title and the back, or the logo. Backside with the track listing to clean the live version of the Leper Affinity. It comes on these printed inner sleeves that have the little lyrics, and of course, plain black. The middle is kind of this creamy color. Got this creamy color to it. But yeah, this album is a perfect. Oh, it's in a gatefold. This did come with some cool artwork. But yeah, here is the gatefold. It's a little bit deeper into the floor. It's pretty cool. Yep, Blackwater Park. Next up, Blizzard of Oz. A classic heavy metal hard rock album. This is probably, I understand that without this album, there wouldn't be the perfection that is no more here for me, at least. Everybody else is entitled to their own opinions. But yeah, Blizzard of Oz is a classic. You get songs like on here, like I Don't Know, Crazy Train, Goodbye to Romance, Mr. Crowley, Revelation, Mother Earth. Got some classics on here, but there's probably one song that prevents this album from being perfect, and that is No Bone Movies. I do not like that song. It's a no for me. Yeah, here is album cover with Ozzy holding the cross and iconic artwork. You got backside with the track listing. You got the band performing live. Comes on this like a printed inner sleeve. You got the lyrics and stuff, and of course, plain black. It's on this cool middle part from Shit Records. Yeah, classic. Yeah. Now we're getting into R's, and there is a good chunk of one band that has a lot of R's, and I'm not going to go into too much. I'm not going to spend so much time on them, but now we get into I showed a single from this album. This is Wheels Are Turning from REO Speedwagon. This was, I believe, released in 1984. It's got Gary Richrath on there, I believe. I believe that's Gary right there. You got Kevin, you got the other guys. But yeah, it's a classic album from them. I actually think this is pretty underrated. Outside, you take away some of those, was it One Lonely Night, Can't Fight This Feeling? The rest of it is really good, underrated rock. I actually dig this album. Almost listening to this, it was like, it's very underrated. Right, if you just take away those singles or not talk about those singles, the rest is really, really good rock and roll, which is really, really cool. Like, those singles helped it sell. This was really, really good rock music. Very, very good. Yes, here's the cover. Backside with the track listing and a picture of the band. Comes on. Believe this is printed? Yep, printed in their sleeve. Of course, plain black. Now we get into a band I have a lot of albums for, and I don't want to waste time with them. Just talk a little bit about them, and then we can pretty much move on. We got a pretty torn apart. It's basically the Rolling Stones, pretty much. We start off with Aftermath. Obviously, for me, I got into the Stones because of my dad. Loved the hell out of the Stones. Grew up on them. And, love them. Nothing bad to say about them. They're your traditional rock, your traditional rock and roll band. Yes, like I said, this album is like falling apart at the seams. So hopefully the next time you see this, I will have this taped up properly. Hopefully, be all taped up and it'll be good to go. But yeah. Anyways, here is the front, backside with the track listings. Obviously, it's on this tattered and torn inner sleeve. The weird thing about this one is the same side is printed twice. I don't know why. That's just so weird when it comes to that. That's interesting. Next, we got an album in better condition. I believe this is, yes, Between the Buttons. Not much to say. It's kind of a continuation. Got album cover, backside, kind of weird. You got the track listing at the bottom and all the credits. On this other printed inner sleeve, it's kind of the same printed inner sleeve once again. Not much to say. Plain black. Ugh. Sometimes I swear these things are tough to put in when it comes to these older albums. Oh yeah, gotta put it back in the sleeve. Then we got, I'm pretty sure this is just the greatest hits album. I think it's all. We'll get to it here shortly. Just gotta put Between the Buttons in this sleeve. Then we got big hits, High Tide and Green Grass. Just kind of your gatefold, I believe. Kind of a cool gatefold, only one. Obviously, as you can see, there's the sleeve where you got the vinyl. It's all black. Gatefold. It's kind of cool. No track listing on this one, but you got a picture of the band in the forest. But yep. Then we get my first live record. Get Your Yayas Out. The Rolling Stones in concert. Yep. Cover, yep. Charlie Watt, rest in peace. He's holding like guitar. You see the Gibson. Like he's holding the bass. You got the drums and he's got an SG. You got the Les Paul. You got a bass and you got the drum and stuff. The donkey's carrying that. Here is the track list. You got pictures of the band, I believe. I believe it's Nick Taylor, I believe. I could be wrong, but once again, it's on plain black. Got this cool sleeve showing other albums on the label. Then we get Sticky Fingers. Here's the front, back side, no track listing, just the back of the pants. Comes on this just plain white, plain black inner sleeve, and then we finally get to probably the last Rolling Stones album in the collection, Goat's Head Soup. You got Mick on the cover, and you got pretty much the rest of the guys. You get Charlie. I believe that is Keith, I believe? No, that's Keith. That is Wyman. That's Bill Wyman. And you got Charlie Wall, rest in peace. And you got, I believe that's Mick. I believe that is Mick on the cover. But anyway, it's a cool gatefold. You get the backside with Keith Richard, no track listing. And then, of course, you get pretty much the inner sleeve has the track listing. And then, of course, on plain black vinyl. And that's all the Rolling Stones vinyls that I have. Now I'll get into probably the last R in the collection. We got Rush. We got Rush with 2112. This one's another Circumstance. This was just originally just a gift. I mean, I like Rush, but at the time, when I got this, I really wasn't that big on Rush at the time. On time, I mean, I thought, oh, this is pretty cool. Thank you. Shortly after that, I got this at Christmas. Shortly after that, Neil Peart passed away, and it was pretty hard on this. Then got some value to it in my collection because of his passing. It was very devastating, pretty much. And this has since gotten, it's now starting to get sentimental value for me. But anyway, here's the artwork. Get the logo 2112, and then you got the star symbol. That's the front. Backside with track listings and the picture of the band. You got in the gatefold more picture of the band. You got the lyrics, and of course, because of this inner sleeve on plain black. Now we get into some of the more interesting ones in the collection. I'm not going to talk too much in detail because I've already done a retrospective for these guys, which if y'all want to go and check it out, by all means, go for it. Just look for it, type in Skamash retrospective. Or if you want to, click the link in the description. I will definitely be leaving a link in the description for these. But yeah, this band is called Skamash. They are a Swiss-based, kind of like an avant-garde black metal band. They're kind of, I would say, more in the entry level than, say, your Deathspell Omega, your Blue Dawson, or even Gorguts. It's much more easier to listen to than those bands. It's a lot more easier and more accessible to listen to, pretty much. So yes, and we're finally getting into some albums that are different color. First off, we're gonna get to here's the debut Sic Luciet Lux. Those are Cult U's. Anyway, artwork, backside with the track listing and credits. And obviously comes on plain black. Next up, we got this one's another cool one. This one's cool. Here is the artwork. Backside with the track listing. They're both, different sides and stuff like that. I have done markings. But this one's one of the cool variant ones. As you can see, this one's on gold. One's on gold, and one is on silver, which is really, really cool. Really cool. I believe it's just on these regular white sleeves. Oh yeah, and here's the gatefold. Pretty cool. Then we get into their triple album, Triangle. Triple LP. All three are on gold. You got these cool artworks and all that. And then you got kind of the credits and stuff, the band and all that. Here is the backside track listing. As you can kind of hardly tell, they're all in gold. Gold. Yeah, it's a cool album. Then we get the Maldoror Chance Hermaphrodite. This is going to be the first in a series of LPs. Anyway, artwork. Backside with the track listing. Play, and I'm playing black. I lost the inner sleeve at some point. I don't know where it went. And then the final one, it's their most recent album, although they are working on a new one, and I'll definitely be getting that on vinyl when it comes out. But anyway, got Hearts of No Light artwork. Backside with the track listing on gatefold. As you can see, there's the band, and we got Hearts, H-O-N-L, which is the first letters of each of the names of the album cover. Anyway, all comes on these printed inner sleeves, and this one's kind of a cool one. Kind of a swirl one. You got the clear with some red and white dots and smears and all that stuff. A pretty cool one. Probably the coolest one in the collection. But yeah, man, we get one a kind of a tweener as we're now approaching the last one. We got Scorpions, Blackout. Got this at a Salvation Army of all places. Saw that, I'm like, fuck, gotta get it. It's Blackout, for Christ's sake. I do freaking love Blackout. It's probably one of my favorite Scorpions albums. But yeah, let's say it's a classic hard rock heavy metal album. Anyway, artwork. Backside with the track listings. I got obviously a little, slip over sleeve or case. Obviously, get the sleeve out. It's on a printed inner sleeve, and it's got the lyrics on it. And of course, should not be surprised that everything I have, except for some others, it's on plain black. Of course. Again. But yeah, that's Blackout. And then we come to pretty much the final band. We might have pretty much everything from them at this point, because all these were at a record convention I got. But we got Tool. I'm not going to talk much because I've already done a retrospective for them. But yeah, the final one, Tool. We got the demo, 72826. The artwork, backside with track listing with the demo. And then we got a little bit of saliva. One of the things I need to get when it comes to Tool stuff is get that album. But anyway, yes, comes on as just white sleeve, and it's in red. Now, cool. Next one, we got Opiate. This is the OG version, not the new version. This is the OG, I believe. Anyway, artwork. Backside with a track listing. Inner sleeve is just white. It's on plain black. Then we got Undertow. Undertow, here is the front. Backside with the track listing. You got Undertow on the pig, just like it would be on the CD. And it's a double LP on black. And then we got the coolest one. We got Lateralis Perfection. Kind of cool. Here is the front. The bag's pretty much the same. Just this whirl of eyes. Yeah, that's the gatefold. Each come on I believe it inner sleeve. If I can pull it out. No, this is a tough one to pull out. But yeah, as you can see, you got the back. It's got the track listing. And each one, this is pretty cool. I believe you call these picture discs. Yeah, it's got covers of the stuff that would be on the normal CD. And yeah, this is actually officially released. Released. And then the final one, and this one isn't an official release. It's just a bootleg copy of 10,000 Days from Tool. It's in pretty bad condition, but hopefully I can get it. Hopefully I can get it fixed. But anyway, artwork backside track with the track listing, and both come on. It's a double LP on red. I think it's a orangish red or something like that. But yeah, that will pretty much do it. Do it here on my record collection. It's been well over an hour. To those who have shown up here to see these records, I thank you for showing up. Going up to the three, we've had J-Dub, Mopar in here, Ben, Mean Metal Mike. Thank y'all for showing up if you're still there. But yeah, obviously, stay tuned for the intro video, the big first video or the live stream over on the Damaged Inc. Gaming, the new Damaged Inc. Gaming YouTube channel. I know some of you have already subscribed over there, but yeah, definitely make sure you be over there. I will be live streaming over there as well. Kind of not going to be as long as this, but yeah. Yeah, thank y'all for watching. If you like this, click the like button or the dislike button. Comment below where your thoughts are on all these LPs that I've shown, including the 7 inches. And if you're new to the channel, click that subscribe button. Yeah, thank y'all. This has been my final collection live stream / video. I will see y'all later. And as always, keep things metal.